My husband permanently scarred my face. It was exactly what I needed. My husband Jackson came home from work early and drunk, and the first thing he did once inside the door was hurl a pint glass at me. No greeting, no hug or kiss, just glass shattering against my cheekbone and blood running down my face. I ran to the kitchen and pressed a dish towel to my face, all while he screamed that no one would ever want me now that I was damaged goods. The ER doctor said the cut would leave a permanent scar running from my left temple to the corner of my mouth and asked if I wanted to file a police report. I'd covered for Jackson for years, but knowing that my face was ruined was the last straw. I'd always wanted to be a model, even though Jackson has forbidden it. Now that dream was dead, and I was done. I said yes. I wanted to file a report, while Jackson's mother called me 46 times to say I was overreacting and ruining her son's future over a little accident. 6 weeks later, I was living in a women's shelter with a restraining order and a face that made strangers stare, then quickly look away. The scar had healed into a curved line that looked like a crescent moon had been carved into my skin. I wore hoodies with the hood up even in summer and avoided mirrors because Jackson's voice saying damaged goods played on repeat in my head. But slowly I started going to the support group meetings where other women had their own scars, both visible and hidden. The counselor kept telling us we were survivors, not victims, but I still flinched whenever someone looked at my face too long. Then a photographer approached me at a coffee shop saying my face was the most interesting thing she'd photographed in years. She said the scar made me look like a warrior goddess and asked if I'd model for her portfolio about resilience and beauty. I thought she was mocking me until she showed me the test shots on her camera, where somehow the scar caught the light and made me look powerful instead of broken. Within a month, those photos went viral on Instagram with millions of women sharing them and calling me brave and beautiful. A modeling agency called saying they wanted to sign me specifically because my scar told a story that resonated with people tired of perfect faces. My first campaign was for a major makeup brand with the tagline, "Beauty isn't perfect," and my scarred face was on billboards in Times Square. Every interview asked about the scar, and I told the truth about Jackson, and suddenly I was getting invited to speak at conferences about domestic violence. The modeling money let me start a foundation for women escaping abuse. I was on magazine covers, and women would stop me crying, saying my story gave them courage to leave their own abusers. Jackson lost everything once my story went public, and his company fired him for reputational damage. His mother called begging me to stop ruining his life, but I wasn't doing anything except telling the truth when asked. Sophie, my assistant, forwarded me screenshots showing he was living in his car after being evicted and getting rejected from every job once they Googled his name. His new girlfriend had left him when she found out what he did, and his friends disappeared once the news articles started circulating. He'd gone from a successful marketing executive to unemployable pariah in less than a year, while I was getting paid 6 figures to be the face of survivor campaigns. I was preparing for my TED Talk about reclaiming your narrative after trauma when my lawyer called saying Jackson was suing me for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. He claimed I deliberately destroyed his life by lying about the incident and was seeking $10 million in damages plus a gag order preventing me from ever mentioning him again. He says he has proof that you injured yourself to frame him, my lawyer said, reading from the filing. He's also claiming the scar was self-inflicted for attention and that you've built your entire career on destroying an innocent man. I felt my hands start shaking as she continued reading his allegations that I'd planned everything to become famous. The worst part is he's representing himself, but he's got a team of men's rights activists funding his case, and they're already spinning this online as a false accusation that ruined a good man's life. She paused before delivering the final blow that made my blood turn to ice. He's demanding a jury trial and says he has witnesses who will testify that you were unstable and violent throughout your marriage. I stared at my scar in the mirror, knowing every word he said was a lie, but also knowing that Jackson had always been able to make people believe whatever version of reality he created. Full story on the channel below.